Hello again. We are on day 117 of our Through the New Testament in 1 year. And today we're doing the second half of Luke chapter 19. This would have been better if it came up a couple weeks ago, but this is Palm Sunday. They call it Palm Sunday. All right. The triumphal entry. When he had said these things, he went on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. When he drew near to Bethphage and Bethany at the mount that is called Olivet, he sent two of the disciples, saying, Go into the village in front of you, where on entering you will find a colt tied on which no one has ever yet sat. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks you, why are you untying it? You shall say this, the Lord has need of it. So those who were sent away and found just as he told them. Imagine that. And as they were untying the colt, its owner said to them, Why are you untying the colt? And they said, The Lord has need of it. And they brought it to Jesus, and throwing their cloaks on the colt, they set Jesus on it. As he rode along, they spread their cloaks on the road. As he was drawing near, already on the way down the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of his disciples began to rejoice and praise God. Now remember, he always said, just the disciples, which were the men, right? There was 125 when they went to replace Judas, and these were people that had been with him since his baptism. So there was always a couple hundred people around him. All right. Right. As he was drawing near, already on the way to the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of his disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works they had seen, saying, Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. That's a famous song by Mark, right? Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to him, Teacher, rebuke your disciples. He answered, I tell you, if these were silent, the very stones would cry out. Right? Later on, he said he could turn these stones into sons of Abraham, right? So, there you go. Not a lot in Luke's version of it, right? And as he drew near the city, he wept over it, saying, Would that you, even you, had known on this day that the things that make for peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes. For the days will come upon you when your enemies will set up a barricade around you and surround you and hem you in on every side, and tear you down to the ground. Happened about 70 years later, right? You and your children within you, and they will not leave one stone upon another in you, because you did not know the name of your visitation. Okay, Jesus cleanses the temple. And he entered the temple and began to drive out those who sold, saying to them, It is written, My house shall be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers. Again, a very tight account of it. And he was teaching daily in the temple, the chief priests and the scribes and the principal men of the people who were seeking to destroy him. But they did not find anything they could do, for all the people were hanging on his words. Can you imagine Jesus teaching, speaking with such authority and knowledge that you're just absolutely captivated by what he's saying? I'd love to hear that, right? Wouldn't you? There you go. That's the rest of 19. I think tomorrow we'll do 20. Right? Right. Excuse me. Rhonda will begin chapter 20. Man, and we're coming up to the Last Supper and the really bad stuff that happened. So. But there you go. There's Palm Sunday. A very, almost like a Cliff's Notes version of it. There are a lot more details than some of the other ones. But, right. Weeps over Jerusalem. There's also more to cleansing the table. I mean, it said the other ones, they said he made a whip. He made it. It had pieces of bones and metal, and they called it a cat of nine tails because it had 9 whips, and he was going around swinging that thing, okay, tipping over tables, right, spilling money, right, because they had turned it into a market, selling sacrifices, changing money. I don't want to give this 100 to the church. Can you break that into 5s, right? Stuff like that. Okay. Does it happen today? Think about it. Is there a bookstore in your church? Is there a coffee shop in your church where they charge you for coffee? This is a house of prayer and worship, right? Think about that. So, there you go. That's day 117. So, easy, nice, short studies, right? We'll get through the whole New Testament, right? And some of the epistles and stuff, we'll really get into those and tear those apart and spend a little more time. But the Gospels, we're going through it 4 times. And, most know the Gospel stories. If not, you should, right? All right. And after this, we'll start John and we'll tear into John because that's the best one. So there you have it. Give us a like if you think about it. Catch up on any you may have missed. But next time, we'll keep going. See you then.